exclusively on youtube.com/comicgamecore. We're back for the first time in like 6 weeks. Welcome. We'll put a little newsy on the back end because I do want to touch on the cancellation here, and it fits with the theme of the show. But we are doing a full-on review of the series Legion of Superheroes from the KidsWB. I think it came out in 2006.
Yes.
So I was a freshman in college. God damn it! Can I get a do-over? I remember, Zach, when you and I started to really connect. I was like, yeah, I remember Young Justice. I watched the first episode when it debuted, and I didn't like it. And you're like, you should definitely go watch it. It's on Netflix. I was like, all right. Then I watched it. I was like, Zach, the fuck? This show is gold. Why didn't you tell me about it before? And I kind of had the same vibes with this, but not with season 1. So the general gist of the show is that Superman is about to go be an intern at the Daily Planet, I guess. He's 4 or 30. I don't know. They kind of go all over the place with how old he is. He's too young to be going to goddamn Metropolis on his own. Too young, I mean. But he's also, like, too old to still not know how to use his powers. And Pa Kent's apparently dead.
Yeah. They're going old school rules on this one.
Yep. Just hard, which brings into continuity errors because Pa Kent's very much alive in the Superman the Animated Series. And you best believe this is supposed to be some type of a joiner to that series because when we see the visages of Superman all growed up, if you're a Rugrats fan, is it grewed up or growed up?
Growed up.
Growed up. God damn them. When we see Superman all grown up, maybe that's going to be one that we have to tackle next. We see it's very much in the Paul Dini hard, straight line visage that Superman was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're clearly paying homage to that. But the Superman in this one's like all of 4'8". You know, he looks like Steve Rogers pre-steroids. Yeah. So it sets a weird vibe, and the thing that I really didn't like about it, like right off the bat, is so Superman's in the bathroom, clearly reading the goddamn Victoria's Secret ad. Let's be honest. And then he develops his heat ray power, but he doesn't know how to control it yet. So all right, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this. Doesn't know how to fly, but he's still super fast. So it's like we're really tapping into that Smallville vein. So I'm digging this, right? I'm like, okay, I like where this is going. By the end of the episode, he can do everything. I'm like, ugh. I feel like Rufio in at the peak of Hook. You can fly, you can fight, and you can use your freezing breath, apparently, I guess. So, like, it kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, I guess fuck progression. But it kind of does make sense for the show because the first season is very much a baddie of the week format. Very little overarchingness. Yep. So your core characters for the first season are Triplicate Girl. God, I'd love to take her out on a date. Oliver. Be expensive, but I think it'd be worth it. Saturn Girl, who very much got underplayed in season 2.
Yes.
Don't know why. Phantom Girl, who very much wants Superman boy man, super tween, super high school graduate. What is he? He can't be 12. He's going to goddamn Metropolis by himself to work at the Daily Planet.
Super virginal.
Super virgin. Dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. You go out with me, you won't get laid. Then we have Lightning Lad, who has already gotten into a fist fight with a blender from the scar on his eye. We have the worst character stop in DC stop, history stop in Bouncing Boy. Fuck that, dude. And then we have Emo Brainiac. Hawthorne Heights Brainiac. Cut my wrist and black my eyes. All right, calm down, Brainiac 5. Because my heart is in Krypton. All right, calm down, Brainiac 5. He's a mouthy little bitch. And then we had Timberwolf, introduced at the second episode, I want to say. And he is... Yes.
Introduced in the second episode and not seen again until like the 10th episode of the season. Or some bullshit like that.
So, side note, I'm rewatching a show from Freeform when it was ABC Family. And you're going to instantly go, yes, of course you're watching that show, when I say who's in it. It stars Melissa Joan Hart and Joey Lawrence.
Of course.
Duh.
Melissa and Joey.
Yeah, that's actually what it's called, is Melissa and Joey. And it's not great, but I love the Lawrence brothers so goddamn much that I will literally watch anything they're in because they're the goddamn Lawrence brothers. Get off my back. But just like in Legion, where you see like, oh, it's Timberwolf, and then where were you for 8 fucking episodes? More than likely, it aired out of order. But Melissa and Joey clearly aired out of order in its first season because I don't know if Joey Lawrence got hair plugs, but he starts the season off with his hair shaved down to the skull, so it's like a complete shave. But like he grows it out as the season continues. But then there's episodes where it's like fully grown out and it's like pliable and you can move it around. Then there's episodes where it's still growing in and he looks like he's wearing some kind of like red skin cap. But they keep jumping back and forth and I'm just like, clearly this was aired out of order. Did no one bother to look at his hair when you were prioritizing what episode comes next? Morons. But you see some of that in this episode, in the first season as well. And considering that, like Melissa and Joey, this show does not have a necessary viewing order for the first season besides this 2-part season finale. So you can watch it in any order. And then lastly, we have, Timberwolf, who is the son of a crazy fucking psychopath doctor who turns his son into a wolf. And now he has to worry about going full feral at some point. And oh my God, no. When I don't remember seeing Chameleon Boy until season 2.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because it says core Legionnaires. I'm like, I don't think so, bud.
Yeah, I think you pretty much got all of them for the first season.
We did have some minor characters. We had, I think his name was Don. No, was it Dawnstar? The guy who can make things light and heavy.
Starboy?
No. During the, I guess we would call it the substitute episode. They brought in that he's black. He's got a black and white outfit. He can increase and decrease someone's weight. And they also introduced the kid who eats everything.
Yeah, that was
Baller
Starboy
Power
and Matter Eater Lad.
So is Matter Eater Lad and who?
Starboy.
Okay, so it was Starboy.
Yeah, it's very confusing because there's a Starboy and a Sunboy.
But
Two different people.
But then there's also a Cosmic Boy and a Bouncing Boy and a Colossal Boy. just fucking stop. Y'all, whoever thought you had good names lied to you.
Yeah, it's like all the Lils in the 90s, the rappers.
Oh, God. Or wasn't there also like a trend on Masters? 'Cause I want to say Master P wasn't the only one who was a master. Who's the master now, Leroy? So we also get introduced to Pharaoh Lad. I'll give you one guess what happens to him. Why is he only part of the last 2 episodes? Oh. I fucking hate when shows do that. Here's a character we're introducing just to... We'll get there. So, the general idea of the first season is they need help battling back these bad guys, and they're not really that unique of bad guys, I guess. I don't know. So they show up and they're like, "Hey, what's up? We're the Fatal Five," and we got Emerald Princess, voiced by Jennifer Hale in season 1. She's also from I know her best from Metal Gear Solid. I want to say she played the voice of Grey Fox's sister, adoptive sister. Let me double check. She's got big ass filmography. Oh, she was also in Johnny Bravo. She was in Dexter's Lab, the Powerpuff Girls. She's been in a bunch of stuff, yo.
She's been in a lot of shit.
Yes, she has. She has quite the resume. She played Naomi. That's who I was thinking of.
Oh,
Naomi
she
Hunt.
was Black Cat in the Spider-Man 90s animated series.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. She was. And Felicia Harding, technically.
Hey.
Yes.
So we also had, and Tara Strong replaced her in season 2, and I like Tara Strong, but like she's no Jennifer Hale. We had Emerald Princess. We had Mono, who's wasn't he the dude with the brain?
Yes.
He's a badass looking motherfucker. We had Validus, Tharok, and Persuader, and I'm sitting here going, "Who named you? You're terrible. You're the worst."
Bruce Pritchard says, "Hold my beer" in the background.
Oh God, no. I didn't even realize that Cyborg did a voice. He played Hunter of the Legion of Supervillains. Carrie Payton, I think is how you pronounce his name. That's pretty cool. So they're kind of throwaway villains. Emerald Empress is kind of cool. She got that floating eye. But then I remember correctly, which one was the cyborg doctor? Was that Persuader?
No, Persuader was the one with the giant axe.
He did not persuade many people. He forced them. He should have been called the Forcer.
Yeah, didn't they put that's the one they put in Smallville, right?
Yeah,
The one
wasn't
had,
that Batista?
No, Batista was one of the Phantoms.
Right. So who was Persuader then in Smallville?
I don't know because he had a mask on, didn't he?
I remember there was a guy who electrocuted Superman trying to persuade him to do things.
Like Lex? No.
God damn it. I hate that Google's like, did you mean? No, I did not mean. I typed in what I typed in for a reason. All right. So, yep, I'm seeing an image, but I don't remember this cat at all.
Yep, I really don't remember him either. Holy shit.
Which episode was he in?
Yeah, what was this?
Wait,
He was in season 8?
yeah, I don't remember no clean shots of him like this. They must have did a bunch of cuts. I remember the axe.
So he was in the the Zod
Episode.
season, right? Season 8 was Zod. Yeah, season 8 was Zod.
Yeah. Season 8 was
Season
Doomsday,
8,
wasn't it?
yeah, that's Doomsday. 9 is
Zod.
9 Pandorians, and 10 is Smoky Darkside.
Okay, I thought there was 9 seasons for some reason. You're right. So, is it Validus? Which one is the doctor?
Let's see.
We are ill prepared for this show, apparently.
Clearly.
Why am I typing in Smallville? No, Legion. Come on. Let's see. Validus. Validus is the big brain guy, so you were wrong about that one.
Oh, well, son of a bitch. I guess that makes sense since it doesn't have a voice actor.
Well,
But then
neither does Mono.
No. What the fuck? Right.
Mono.
Who's Mono?
Legion.
Mono is the fishbowl guy.
Mono is the villain from Earthworm Jim. So that much means Tharok is the goddamn stupid guy with the big brain. That he's the only other one with a name.
Yeah.
So anyway, they set these guys up, and they're like, "Yeah, Emerald Empress is the one in charge, but Tharok is the smartest of them all. He's even the smartest Brainiac 5." And I'm like, "Then why isn't he the leader?" Like,
Great question.
right? Like, why are we putting dum-dums in charge? Like, obviously, Brainiac's leader of the Legion. That doesn't make much sense to me. The only other... we had Zix, like, whatever. Starfinger was terrible. I loved him.
Starfinger was great.
He was so bad. I loved it. The one I really liked, though, was Alexis. Because, like, when I don't remember them actually saying her last name throughout most of the episode she was in. They just refer to her as Alexis, super popular, and everyone loves her, and la 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 la. And she's, like, super obsessed with getting Superman's Super D. And I loved it. So she goes full baddie. And I'm just thinking to myself, this happened on Smallville. Maybe not with a character named Alexis, but I guarantee you this happened on Smallville. And Superman ends up blowing her up by accident when she tries to kill the Legion. And she loses all her hair. I'm like, oh, she's a Luthor, I bet. And then, I looked it up. Yeah, she's Alexis Luthor. I'm like, ha ha! So, I like that one. That was pretty cool. Any other villains in season 1 stick out to you guys? Marcus?
Season 1. Who was the guy that Clark inadvertently let out of the containment thing?
I was looking for him too.
I think that's Drax.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Zachary, what about you? Anyone stand out?
Yeah, I dug Drax. Not even so much for Drax himself, but just because I dug that episode. That was probably my favorite episode of the first season. It was real good.
Mm-hmm.
It was real good.
Well, then the general overall season arc, which really wasn't one. It was just Superman doing Superman things with his super buddies. The season ends in a two-parter. A thing called the Sun Eater is it's called the Sun Eater. It ain't going to high five the moon, folks.
It's doing what it do.
Right? It's not going to high five the moon. Like, we know what it is. And they're like, we got to stop it. And then the writer's like, let's have a sacrifice. Who shall we put in there? Will it be Triplicate Girl? Saturn Girl? Phantom Girl? Bouncing Fuck You Boy? Lightning Lad? Brainiac 5? Or even young Superman? I know, we'll go with neither. Instead, they end up going with Pharaoh Lad. Do you know who Pharaoh Lad is? Neither did anyone else before the episode started. He did have a cool little moment. I think he had to connect the two parts of a bomb to blow up the Sun Eater, and as he's like grabbing one end of the frayed wire, and then he's about to grab the other frayed end of the wire and be the conduit that ignites the bomb. He says something like "Long live the Legion." And I was like, dude, that's a baller last line. Too bad no one heard it. So he dies, and I'm just sitting here going, ugh. And then, like, immediately after he dies, they're like, we won! Hug! Oh, we're so happy! And I'm just like, Pharaoh Lad died, you cunts! Have a tear in your eye! Have someone mournfully looking at the stars! Have something other than Phantom Girl staring at Superman's ass! It wasn't an actual part of the episode, I'm assuming it happened.
We weep for father. I feel like at that point, the only people that knew he was in the episode was us and the writers. They didn't say anything because they didn't know the characters weren't written to know.
Sad thing is, like, he looked baller as shit in this series.
He did.
Like, he looked like a knight. I kind of dug that, like an Iron Knight,
And
like a man of iron.
He dropped the you don't want to see me without my mask on line. I was like, mysterious.
Mysterious.
And then you die.
And I like that they show his dead body. Did you notice that?
Oh, did they?
So like after the final battle and like they're paying homage to their dead friend, they show a crater and it's a dead charred corpse body. I'm like, what? Is that supposed to be Pharaoh? Why would you show that?
I missed that, but that's funny as shit.
Yeah, like if you go back to the season 1, episode 12, the finale, they're doing like the Feral Lad like commencement, like everyone's Legion is Legion, and then they just cut to like as they're doing the voiceover, they cut to like an asteroid, and you just see this like from a little bit of distance, you see like what looks like to be a charred body in some type of crevice, and I'm just like, what? And then I thought to myself, well, that's going to be the most violent thing we see all series.
Wrong.
Oh. So season 1 is like, let's do these season by seasons. We'll each go with one. Zachy, and guys, try to pick a different one if someone else takes it. So I'll go last because I doubt anyone's going to pick the one I like. Zachy, we'll start with you. Which of the episodes from season 1 would be your favorite?
Definitely would be the episode called Phantoms, which is the one where Superman lets Drax out of the Phantom Zone. Because all the other ones up to and until like the two-parter have varying levels of seriousness to them. But this one actually, like we all know everyone knows Superman's backstory. Everyone knows it. But Superman at this point doesn't, because he's still a little baby Soups. So you get Drax in there throwing out little innuendos and references and things. And then you even have Brainiac 5 pulling out a lump of kryptonite. And there are all these deeper implications to this episode than pretty much all the other ones for this season.
I like the callbacks. They used the same design, if I remember correctly, for the Phantom Zone gun that they used in the animated series of Superman.
They do.
It's at least extremely similar. To the point where I'm like, I know what that is. Marcus, of season 1, what would be your favorite episode?
Favorite episode for me, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to go with probably there's gonna be a theme about thing in particular that I liked about the show as a through line, but probably Lightning Storm.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Lightning Storm, because I really do think that Lightning Lad probably had one of, if not probably the best arc over the course of the 2 seasons. Obviously, the whole thing was about ultimately Superman coming into his own as the guy we would come to know, but in terms of story beats and evolution, both from aesthetic to character motivation, whatever, I thought Lightning Lad had a good chunk of it, and I thought this was a real cool episode because he was very much struggling with a lot of insecurities in season 1 that we saw a hinge of in season 2, but he had very much grew out of, and this was one of those episodes where he very much had to, kind of get out of those ways because, he left the Legion and then, kind of had to get smartened up. And this was kind of gearing him towards more that leadership role that he kind of wanted, but, he had to kind of get out his own way. So I was always interested in those little story beats that they told him.
I want to do an honorable mention for the substitutes.
Yep.
I adored this
I would throw that
episode.
in there too.
It was so good. We had the bean sprout guy who can make things grow, but
Chlorophyll Kid.
Chlorophyll Kid. Oh my god, what a terrible power. And then we had basically she was Typhoid Mary, which I thought was adorable, and she was cute. She's all like, "Achoo!" I'm like, "Oh, you got the cold. You probably always have the cold. Oh, I'm so sorry." We had Porcupine Lad, I think is what was his name, or Porcupine Boy.
Porcupine Pete.
Porcupine Pete. That's right. He had the dumbest name of the group because he just said, "I'm Pete," and his mom has a space station wagon.
Yep.
Like, did anyone else get that? Like, they didn't call it that, but it's a station wagon that goes into space.
Yeah.
It's a space station wagon. Fucking come at me. Then we had Stone Boy, I think his name was.
Yep.
We can just call him Goliath or any other gargoyle before they got risen to Xanatos' tower, because all he did was stand there stone face, because he was stone. Human paperweight, better name. And then we had, what was the fifth character?
Color Kid.
That's right. And he did the reason why I like this so much wasn't so much because it was the underdogs finally seized the day, or because we had fucking Space Fingers, whatever his name was. Starfingers, that was his name. But we also got a throwback to the classic Superman cover where Superman has a bunch of different colored uniforms. When Color Lad, or whatever you call him, Color Kid, changed Superman's image. And then he's like, if I had changed him into forest green, he would have let me in. I don't think so, kid. Starfingers was great, though. He was just so hammy. I'm so glad I watched that episode. Starfinger. What a terrible villain.
That sounds like an Enos special.
Right? It really does. For me, though, I'm going to go with Legacy, with the one with Alexis Luthor. The kind of infatuation with a pretty girl is very, very kind of universal for a lot of people. And the idea of blowing off your friends for someone shiny and new is very much a thing that all kids will have to deal with at least sometime. But what I liked about it wasn't that Superman had to learn a lesson from it. He realized he had fucked up. He's like, I got to not do this. Like, my friends are in mortal danger. And then apparently we also find out that Brainiac 5 is super gay. Because he's super jealous. And this ain't the first time that we're going to be seeing some sides that maybe Brainiac wants to be more than friends with Superman.
The opening scene of fucking season 2.
Oh my god!
Bubble burst.
What was that, Marcus? You kind of cut out.
Oh, did he get his bubble burst?
Yeah, yes, he did. I did find that kind of funny. Like, they went a little extreme, maybe not extremes the road, but they went a little obvious with Brainiac's infatuation with Superman. So that was kind of funny. So that was another reason why I liked it. But the overall reason why I liked it is that it showed that Superman didn't need to have like the big moral lesson to realize that he needs to do something right. Like, usually, like, you think of like the end of like Saved by the Bell. Someone ODs and Zach Morris goes, "Maybe I shouldn't have sold her Oxycontin." Well, gee, Zach Morris, you think? But Superman's like, "Oh shit, I missed a patrol and my friends are mad at me. I need to not spend as much time with her." Oh, look at that. He made a logical conclusion on his own. Of course, Brainiac 5 is acting like a jealous girlfriend, so like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Zach's episode kind of focused on, Superman growing in terms of that perspective of Superman, because he legitimately like screwed up and almost got everybody killed by letting him out of the Phantom Zone, and he had to put that back because he was just he was still in that kitty type of zone, and that kind of put him in a more mature mindset. And then this one kind of related more to Clark on a people level because he didn't really have this type of cohort interaction on Earth because he was alone. Like you said, he was like an intern. It was a weird space they started out with him in. Mm-hmm. So it was like that, kind of blended because he's always trying to, as we know throughout history, trying to juggle the aspects of those particular personalities. So, I thought those were two great examples.
So we close out season 2, close out season 1 with Superboy, Superman going back home, and so here's the thing that really pissed me off about season 1. So they went to get Superman across the galaxy, or across time and space, sorry. And they're like, our time travel abilities are so goddamn super. We can take you out and put you back in like no one even noticed you. But then they're like, oh no, the Sinister Five or the Fatal Five are attacking us. What do we do? Well, we can't get a hold of anyone to help. We're going to be outnumbered. And I'm sitting there going, you have a time machine. Just go back to before all the other Legionnaires left. Be like, can I borrow you for 30 seconds? And I know it's a kid's show. I know I'm being a little hard. I'm just saying, don't introduce mechanics that you don't want exploited. They fixed that shit easy in season 2. Well, you can't time travel anymore. Why? Yeah, it's future broke. Okay. that works as a plot device. But, like, what? You couldn't just go back to, like, before Cosmic Boy left and be like, hey, Cosmic Boy, kind of the heaviest of hitters here. You got the dumbest outfit. Why do you got 3 balls on your chest? I don't know. Can you come, like, hang out with us for a few minutes? Gotta kick someone in the face.
I could just hear that interaction in my head of, or at least how I would do it, because Cosmic Boy in the show is too much of a fucking Boy Scout for this. But I would love for someone to say to him, Cosmic Boy, why do you have 3 balls on your chest? He'd be like, I don't know. Why does Brainiac have 3 balls on his forehead?
That is hinting.
Phantom Girl has 2 on her forehead. Jesus, the fucking depravity of this show. Now I know I only got 26 episodes.
You're gonna line up in front of Superman and be like, pick.
Yeah. So the season ends with no one giving a shit about Pharaoh Boy.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, if I got to sit through another 13 episodes of that, well, I mean, I will. It's only 13 episodes. It's going to be like, I don't know, 3.5 hours. Not hard. So I'll do it. I just don't want to. So then I get into episode 1, The Man from the Edge of Tomorrow, part 1. And Superman shows back up, but he's got like black eyes and green retinas, and I'm pretty sure Brainiac 5 had a little something going on when he saw him. Like, oh my God, you're so much more handsome than the one I had before. And the season opens up with Superboy and Brainiac fighting. And I swear to God, I stopped. I'm like, did I miss something? Because if we're going with Chad's most angry motifs in TV shows, there's the starting an episode and then documenting what happened several lengths of time beforehand, like 2 days before, 4 hours before, what have you. I hate that. Start the story where it's supposed to start. Don't go backwards. Fuck flashbacks. The other thing I really fucking hate is the false intro, where you think you're watching something that you don't know anything about that only gets explained later on in the episode. Teen Wolf, the TV series, did this all the damn time, where an episode would end with, like, Scott and his love interest of the week going, I don't know if we should date. And then the very next episode, like, well, you know, after the cliffhanger, you know, Scott and should we kind of date? And like they're about to kiss. And then the next episode, there's some giant golem monster chasing 2 kids I've never seen before down the school fucking hallway. And they're turning into banshees and fucking caterpillars. And I'm like, what am I watching? Where was last week's episode? And so when it starts with a Man from Edge of Tomorrow Part 1, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, was there a 14th episode of season 1 that I was not aware of? But then eventually, you know, everything fades away and Brainiac dies in the arms of Superman as he lovingly caresses his hand. I'm not being funny when I describe that scene. That's what happens. Only instead of it being Superman that dies, and then Brainiac has to watch the visage of Superman fade away into nothing, it's Superman who holds Brainiac 5 as Superman fades away into nothing, and Brainiac 5 has to reshuffle his pantalones as he leaves their goddamn danger room. Who programs a program where you die and not the computer? Like, what?
What happens in the holodeck stays in the holodeck, man.
Not if you're on the Orville, it doesn't. Sex addiction to holodeck programs is real.
Damn you, Chad. I was just about to bring up Borders.
Well, I do have our brain for the night, so I'm not surprised. So the episode brings in Kal-El, but they're like, hey, well, it's like Kal-El, but we'll call him Kal-El. I'm like, wait, what? Say that again? Kal-El, but we'll call him Kal-El? One more time? Kal-El, but we'll call him Kal-El? I'm not hearing the difference, folks. So Superman's Kryptonian name is Kal-El, Kal-El.
Yep.
This Superman, a clone, is spelled Kell-El. Kel. Like Keenan and Kel. Here it goes. So Cal and Kel. I'm sorry. No. What did they call Connor? What was his Kryptonian name?
Con-El.
See right there, Connor-El. Con-El. Sounds more like a dishwasher service. Buy the new Con-El dishwasher today. Get $199 off with a rebate. So he's from the 41st century, so we're another 1,000 years in the future. And he's fighting some guy named Drax, or El Draxto, or Draximus Prime, or these names are fucking stupid.
Imperiex.
Whatever, stupid names. The villains, the heroes, they pulled them out of goddamn Stan Lee naming books. Imperiex. What kind of go-go power fuckers is that name? Mighty Morphin bullshit is what that is. He did look cool. He looked like a samurai warlord with like a giant chest laser that can apparently melt arms. We'll get there.
That is a Power Rangers big boss, though. That,
right?
Specifically for this new series of shows.
I haven't seen the new series of Power Rangers. Are they good? Have anyone else seen them? Marcus, have you seen the new ones?
Yeah, some are better than others. But damn, now that I think about it, I do think they did have a villain named Imperiex.
I wouldn't even be surprised. It's like it's like base early '90s villain name.
Yeah.
It's bad when you go back and look. Like, you know what? The Divatox wasn't that bad.
Wasn't there a season of the Power Rangers where they had a pet monkey and worked in a pizza place? Or am I superimposing the pet monkey? Am I just willing the pet monkey into existence?
They definitely worked at a pizza place at one point, I'm sure.
It was probably one of those episodes where Bulk and Skull went out on these myriads of jobs, and then they got turned into monkeys.
Sounds about right.
Nah, that fits. So Superman from the future's like, Imperiex is going to destroy my future. Let's go. Okay. And then they go. And then they're like, oh, no, we have the failed. And I'm just like, y'all ain't very good at your jobs. And then Imperiex is like, hey, you guys want to see something cool? And everyone's like, no. And the lad goes, okay. And then everyone just stares at him like, why? It's not actually how the episode goes. I'm just trying to have some fun with it because, goddamn, some of these episodes are hard to get through. And then all of a sudden, these giant balls started popping up. This show had a thing for balls, man. But it was supposed to represent the idea that the future was being faded away out of existence. Or as Fabian Cortez would say, it was fading away into nothing. So the future was dying. And I was like, all right, I don't like how they're doing it. Like, why the balls? Why so many fucking balls in this show? Why the balls? But I got it, right? It was fine. This is where the show was like, hey, Chad, you want to see something cool? I'm like, I don't know, show. Yeah, you're all right. I'm not going to take that away from you. You're fine. But whatever you think I'm about to see, I ain't going to be impressed by. And the show's like, oh, okay, watch this. Remember Triplicate Girl? Yeah, she's cool. You killed one of the triplicates? Holy fuck! I remember I stopped and I was like, is that kind of suicide?
kiss you for a wave goodbye.
Right? And then she was like, "You can't call me Triplicate Girl anymore. What was it? I'm duo, dangerous duo.
Duo damsel.
There it is,
Dual damn.
duo damsel." And I'm like, how do you even like? I'm sitting like, hand to God, I sat there for 40 minutes going, how do you even know? But part of you die. Do you lose a part of your? But how does it affect your memory? But is it a person? And I couldn't rationalize it, man. I was having a hard time. I was like,
Jam.
what? It broke me, man.
One of them's getting a new closet. That's how it goes.
So but they put in the joiner. They're like, but if we stop Imperiax, we'll resurrect the future, which means that our other half will be here. Or that's what Bouncy Boy said. Duo damsel duo. So I was like, oh man, all right. Glad that's the worst thing that's gonna happen on this show. Lightning Lad's just like, wait for it. I'm just like, wait, what? So tomorrow, part 2, we see young Superman, skinny Superman, Super Virgin show up, and he's no longer a Super Virgin, and Phantom Girl, who is dealing with the fact that half of her team is DOA. Well, they're in quote unquote comas. One of the triplicates lost their self. And the team just got so utterly whooped, they're thinking of changing their names to the Legion of Cleveland Browns because they're getting their ass kicked so soundly every fucking week. But when Superman shows up, not the 41st century Superman, but the 21st century Superman, everyone's like, oh, it's Superman. And Phantom Girl's like, oh my God, look at me, so muscular. Like just drooling like Homer Simpson. Mind you, like 190,000 Legionnaires are in hospital beds. There's like 6 standing, and she can only think about the Super D. That's what this show is. Fucking Brainiac's like there's 2 of them. What? Fantasies, yes. Brainiac, calm down, man. So we find out that Superman, or I think they call him what? Superman X? Is that the other name they give him?
Yeah.
Superman X Kal-El. He's a clone of the OG Superman, and he's not too fond of the OG Superman, but I did like the design of him. I don't know if you realize this, but he was designed kind of after the Doomsday War Superman in like some of the gauntlets, and he even had like wrist, not wrist, but like hand shields.
Yeah.
Yep.
That were reminiscent of some of Superboy's comics, where he was a member of like the group called the Ravers, I think was what they were called. So I was like, that's a cool throwback. he definitely had dead Superman, or sorry, coma Superman's hair. So that was cool. Nice amalgam, if you will. Yes, Marcus.
Yeah, I guess supposed to be the perfected version of him because he wasn't immune. I mean, he was immune to kryptonite, and I guess used like because it was in his DNA, he could like use it now as like a power, which I thought was really cool.
Powered up Superman, gotta love it. So Superman and Superman X, like, is this like some kind of Mega Man X bullshit? And Superman's like, yeah, probably. We are not great at names. So the arc of the season then turns into confrontations with, I was about to call him Parallax because fucking terrible names. Imperax. That's not right. Emperorax? Imperiax. Terrible fucking names. And it's a general overall arc about how to fuck with Imperiax and how to get back to it. There are some changes to the main core this year, though. Saturn Girl, I don't think shows up until like what, the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, she gets knocked out in like the first episode and doesn't come back until the flashback episode where that shows the origins of the Legion.
What was that?
That was like the
Message in a Bottle?
no, in the beginning, episode 22
Okay.
of 26.
So it was a while. The actress who played her, though, also played Shrinking Girl.
Shrinking Violet.
Shrinking Violet, that's right. I love how Brainiac does not give a fuck about her. They're fighting a giant robot at some point, and Brainiac's like, oh, she shrinks and has puns. Oh, he's not fucking with that little thing. So she's out for most of the season. We also have, who the fuck is that kid? Chameleon Boy shows up in the first episode and 2. I think he sticks around for a while.
Yep.
We have Superman X as well, obviously. But some of the other characters in season 2 definitely get put in the back burner a bit. Like Bouncy Boy had a few episodes in the first season and maybe 1 or 2 in the second season where he really showed what he was about. But it was mostly Lightning Lad, Superman, Superman X, and Brainiac that dominated the storylines of season 2. They're like an episode or 2 would feature someone else in a B role, if you will. But that was like the core 4 was those 4 characters. Yeah. Would you agree with that, Marcus?
Yeah, and I think, yeah, like you said, consistently, and then they found ways to throw Timberwolf in there as well. I like how everybody, by the way, like I went and found a gym.
Yeah, it's several years. So both Superman and Legionnaires aged at the same rate. So let's say it was 5 years since Superman was last in the Legionnaires. It's been about 5 years, for the sake of argument, since the Legionnaires had seen Superman. But they all went from being whiny little bratty kids to being, you know, as the kids say today, glowed up, which needs to stop. That's a terrible fucking term. I'm definitely becoming an old man because like I'm hearing all these new lingo and I'm like, ugh, kids with their stupid lingo. Yeah. It's not great. So, Zach, thoughts on the character shuffling and focus of season 2?
I dig it. There are some, like Saturn Girl is questionable, but we did get more of Timberwolf, which he had pretty much his own episode. Mm-hmm. Again, it was like the second episode of the season. I wonder if second episode of season 3 would have been Timberwolf as well. But
his was the third episode of season 2 and the second episode of season 1.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because 2-parter. Mm-hmm. But I definitely liked a lot of the character design upgrades, especially Brainiac's, because he looked awful in the first season.
Yeah, he looked like the alien Brainiac version of Taj Mowry in Smart Kid or Smart Guy. What was the name of that show? Smart Guy. I think that was it. Like he just looked like a kid with like terrible hair.
Yeah, it was so bad. It's like.
And now fucking Hawthorne Brainiac 5 Heights is like, hey, I'm no longer emo, I'm alt rock. You can call me Fallout Brainiac. And I cut my hair. I mean, no one else really changed besides like some people getting more swelled up. There was a big change to one character.
Lightning Lad.
Yeah, Lightning Lad got jacked. Lightning Lad, though, decided that around episode 4 he wanted to lose some weight. So he lost about 90 pounds. This was one of the better episodes of the series. It was called Chained Lightning. Yep. And they find out that Lightning Lord, Lightning Lad's brother, is working with Imperiax. And Lightning Lord looks dope as shit. And when we had a flashback about how they became Lightning Kids, and their sister Alia died in a thunderstorm thing, and they got the superpowers, and they're like, "Arr!" But then they fought each other, and Imperiax like, "Yo, Lightning Lord, you fighting like a bitch. I'm gonna take over." And Lightning Lad's like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." And Imperiax blasts Lightning Lad. Fucking takes his arm off. And they give him a goddamn cybernetic arm. And like it's obvious what's happening. They don't ever show that side of his body after he gets hit. But it's like deliberately not shown. It's like he lost his arm. Like
Yeah.
And then you see him with the robotic arm later on in the episode. I'm just sitting there going, this fucker's so crazy. He's gonna like the fact that he has a robotic arm. And then like Shrinking Violet's like it's got bombs, and guns, and electricity, and I put it on myself, and I'm so dope, and that arm's so dope, and you're so dope with that arm. And Lightning Lad just goes, it's not the actual line, but this is what he should have said. As he's making it work and flicking things and stuff, he should have said, groovy.
Damn straight he should have.
But I think he's just like nice or sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had no qualms about having his arm removed.
Yep, I was sitting there watching. I was like, "You just lost your fucking arm, and you are pumped that you did."
He has zero problems with it, bud. So the season progresses, and we also find out that Brainiac 5 has a little chamber in his dome where, Brainiac still lives. And that's horrifying to think about. Turns out, throughout the entirety of the character's existence, he had part of the original Brainiac put into his brain or kept into his brain, and I'm not sure how that even happened. But it starts to manifest and it starts to develop within the deep recesses of his mind. Zach, we'll kick it to you first. Seeing that and then hearing the same voice who did Brainiac in the Superman the Animated Series, what was your takeaway because I think we always knew, like there was other iterations where we knew about this, but like what was your takeaway with that revelation that Brainiac was still there? And just as a fan, what did you think of the fact that it was also voiced by the same guy from Superman's animated series?
Obviously love that it's the same voice actor. I'm a big stickler for voice actors. If there is a Batman animated movie or whatever that has Kevin Conroy in it, I'm absolutely going to get it. If it doesn't have Kevin Conroy in it, it makes it a little harder, but sometimes I'm still on board. But so I love continuity of voice actors. It satisfies me so much. But I also dug the revelation of, because I think we got hints of it in the first season, and like when Superman X first came on, he snubbed Brainiac because he's like, yeah, I know what the fuck you're about. So to actually see that manifest, and it was at that point you're like, okay, we have Imperiex, but I feel like we could do something better here.
And they do. Marcus, what was your thought when you saw the big revelation that Brainiac 1.0 was actually setting everything in motion?
No, I liked it. I dug it because it was getting to the point. Imperius was cool, like you said, like this old robotic ninja with a chest cannon. And they did a cool thing with that arc. Because the best part of that the whole thing was what it was doing for the character growth of Superman X. Well, it did get to the point where it's like where we see these long drawn out shows, specifically sometimes with the CW over a 22 arc span. There was milking the villain. It's like, oh my God, he got away again. And then he eventually got to bring that home. So for them to bring that to a head in a cool way, and then move on to like, oh, all our problems are solved, and then it's like the last person you would expect to cause this level of calamity, would be kind of almost the voice of reason in a lot of ways for the team, and I thought that was really cool, and even better that it was the same voice actor and the same guy from the Superman animated series, because I have The Last Son of Krypton on VHS, and I remember like that whole thing of Brainiac literally spending the whole first part of that movie knowing that Krypton was obviously going to blow and transforming his files, and then when it was about to blow to hell, he was like, goodbye, Krypton, and just ditched it. So like just that whole concept, this bastard really does never die, even to the fact that he's on a whole nother show continuity. It just makes sense.
So Brainiac also is, kind of the mindset that, he doesn't fuck with other people. So Imperiax is like, "What's up, Brainiac?" And Brainiac's like, "Your heart." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And then he stabs him through the chest. And he's like, "Sorry, did you not get the joke before I murdered you?" And Imperiac's like, "Solid dig, bro." And then Imperiax dies. So Brainiac 5 essentially becomes Brainiac. Brainiac kills Imperiax and seemingly kills Superman, one of the Supermen. And then it's like on the battle, Brainiac, and then Brainiac 5 becomes like Pinocchio, kind of like he's all strung up and shit. It's creepy. It's creepy. I guess you can't keep a good romance down because Superman X is all like, he's my hero as he's battling the OG Brainiac. Brainiac 5's like, all I needed was your love, or clapping because he's Tinkerbell. I don't know. One of those is accurate. Brainiac 5 then fucking stops Brainiac pretty decisively, pretty easily too. And then he burns up in probably the coolest part of the second season. As he's burning up, parts of him are falling off. Then you realize that he has in fact gone full Pinocchio. He's a real boy now. And that was one of the cooler parts of the entire season because I didn't see that coming. I'm like, holy shit, he's a real boy now, free from Brainiac. So the day is saved. Everyone goes back to their pasts and futures, and Triplicate Girl gets herself back, and Saturn Girl's alive, and nothing actually happened. We've reverted back to status quo. Yay. So how do we feel about the end of season 2 compared to the end of season 1? Zach, are you a fan of it?
I am. I dug the end of season 2, and especially with the very, very end, I'm like, we didn't get season 3. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. Because as Marcus alluded to, Brainiac never dies.
Yep, and we see some kind of weird robot that's supposed to be Brainiac reassembling itself at the end of the episode. It is definitely a thing. Marcus, thoughts on the end of season 2?
No, I dug it because that whole thing of like I think a lot of the bonding that he was seeking with Superman was, and eventually, that kind of spread out across the team, was him trying to find a level of humanity that he didn't necessarily feel, because obviously he kind of walks around knowing that he's basically he's basically a sanitized program of a extremely villainous virus, if you will. So in that, you kind of, I guess, walk around trying to find your identity, and to do that kind of arc over 2 seasons, and then having, like you said, Superman X of all people, who was basically shunning him, and in a lot of ways he came into the show like, I'm a blunt instrument. I basically do all the stuff that Superman can do, but better and more mission based, because I don't take L's. For him to try to I think that was great in bringing that full circle, and the fact that they ended up turning him into a like you said, a quote unquote real boy, I think was bringing that whole looking for humanity thing full circle. So I dug it. Like you said, everything went back to status quo, but if that's the kind of the hokiness we had to pay for, a lot of great character arcs coming full circle, I dig it.
So the one thing that we need to touch on, because this is like the most daffy ass bullshit I think I've ever seen in anything. Superman X's parents.
Oh man.
So I can't say with any certainty that this is like a canonical character and this is a canonical like family dynamic or what have you. But Superman X's parents is actually in a robot, and they share a body, a mind, and a screen. One side is pink with black highlights, and the other side is black with pink highlights. It's one of those things where I'm just so skeeved out, because when they talk, they alternate sentences. So they'd be like, "Would you please pass me?" And then like the other voice would go, "The peanut butter, my son." And it's like, this is weird. This is so weird. And like the faces continually move like it's like floating in a goddamn fishbowl. Marcus, did you have as much of a skeezed out moment with this as me?
Maybe at first from the aesthetic perspective, but when you look at it, like they, was trying to pass as a parental and child like relationship, but in essence it was like completely mission based, and they were like, we only need to rear you and then you can steer yourself from here, type of deal. But yeah, it was weird at first, but when you kind of look at like he's a clone anyway, and stuff like that, I kind of got over it. And then we didn't really see them past the first couple episodes because didn't they get destroyed or something?
Yeah, they die with the rest of the future.
Yeah, so they he really didn't need, like, once he got full adult, I don't even know why they stuck around. Like they could have just went off somewhere, vacationed in like a dual GUI zone or something. But yeah, I wasn't that too weirded out, but I was still trying to get used to who this new Superman was because this was my first time being introduced to this version of him, and I just thought it was super cool.
Zach, any thoughts on this one before we hop off to our favorite episodes, and then we'll tackle our favorite characters of the series?
No, I mean it was it was definitely a weird thing. Like I had seen a couple episodes of this show when it first aired, so I was already familiar with the future Superman X thing. But I never saw that. So I was watching it, I was just like, what the fuck is this? How have we gotten even more off the rails?
It was definitely one of those situations, those moments in television history where you're like, this is a thing. This is a thing. I can't say I'm exactly thrilled that I have to experience this, but here we are. So let's move on and let's tackle our favorite characters and least favorite characters. We can do one from each season if you want, or just one in totality. Zach, Marcus, we'll start with Marcus. Who is your favorite character from season 1 and or 2, or just season 1 or season 2?
Let's see. From season 1, I'm going. Let's see. Season 1, I'm gonna go with Lightning Lad. Like I said, because it was he was a lot of growing he had to do, and it was doing that slow build, I think, ultimately to that climax in probably one of my favorite episodes of the series in Chain Lightning. But yeah, that was for season 1. I think 2, it was definitely Kal-El.
Kal-El. What a terrible name. Zach, what about you?
Season 1, let's see. Season 1, I would probably go Superman. Just because he's fucking Superman. And I like the Smallville vibe of it, kind of. Not so much, I mean, it's not quite the same, but I like the he's trying to figure out, like, he's thrown forward 1,000 years where there's a fucking museum of him down the street of all his greatest adventures and accomplishments, and he's just like, I didn't even know I was going to be anything special until these people picked me up. So I dug that. Season 2. Season 2, probably Lightning Lad. I mean, the guy's grown up, as many of the heroes have, obviously, and he gets a fucking robot arm after his real arm gets blasted off in dramatic fashion, and he gives zero fucks.
Yeah, he was arm cannon is so good.
Yeah, he's a special lad. I'm gonna go with him as my favorite as well. But I'm also gonna give super big ups to Molar Boy, Can Eat Anything Guy, Iron
Matter
Stomach,
Eater lad.
Matter Eater Lad. That's where we're at with names, folks. Matter Eater Lad.
Yep.
Those whores. All right, least favorite characters. Zach, we'll start with you.
Least favorite character, probably Cosmic Boy, because he's just the biggest douche.
Cunt. Yeah.
Oh, and look at that. He's voiced by Will Wheaton. That's amazing.
Hilarious.
I didn't even realize it. And now I'm so happy with my choice.
Marcus, what about you? Least favorite character?
Yeah, man. Then Zach nailed it on the head. I think he just he pops in, he douches, he pops out, and then he pops back in and douches again. But just because that character was always supposed to wasn't he the leader, and then that kind of transitioned out. So that whole deal, him kind of still carrying the attitude, was like, okay, whatever, man, just leave so we can get to our like people that actually want to be here. And then I think a real honorable mention, and just go piggyback off of Chad. I don't really want to mention this guy, but Bouncy Boy. I just it's just I don't like what he was gonna do, like ask somebody to death. Like it was, it was cool what they ended up doing with him in the role that they found for him, because I didn't really want that guy in the field a lot. And it was cool uses and stuff for his powers, but specifically, it was better just seeing like somebody like Kal-El just go off, unencumbered by everything else. So probably Bouncy Boy, because it's just like what y'all couldn't find nobody else. Like y'all could have like you said, they had all those other myriad of characters they could have slotted in, but they chose him.
So, honorable mention, just because I'm going to have dreams about her for a long time. That's Dream Girl. More like Damn Girl. So my least favorite character, I think, would be, I'd say season 1 Brainiac. Holy hell. I know they're supposed to be kids, but like, goddamn, Superman goes out on a date that we don't call a date because we're making a show for 10-year-olds apparently, and like comes back and Brainiac's like, ugh, girls. And Superman's like, I'm really sorry I messed up, and I'm going to make it up to you. And then he makes it up to him, and he's still like, ugh, it's all your fault. And then I think it was Triplet Girl goes, did you call Superman to update him about things that didn't need updating? And he's like, yeah, and she's like, no wonder he didn't answer your call. You boy who cried wolfed him. It's your fault. You abused your authority. And I'm just like, yeah, you did. Granted, she didn't go into that much explanation. I am, though. And it was just kind of one of those things. I'm like, God, this character is just the worst. I mean, it's not as bad as the Supergirl version.
Oh,
everything's bad on that show. Everything is bad. Speaking of which, so that'll wrap up the Legion, but keeping in theme with the Legion, Brainiac 5 also appeared on Supergirl, the live-action show, and that series is getting canceled as well. Oh, no. Oh, no. There goes Supergirl show. Gone, and canceled. So, Marcus, initial thoughts on the cancellation of Supergirl?
Not really surprised. Between three things for it. To me, there's not much more road to run in terms of storylines without seeming like they just really throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, if most people don't already think they're not doing that already. Two, you got the Superman and Lois show coming which I'm guessing more people would be interested in. From whatever perspective, I don't see why, because they've absolutely, from a character perspective, dog walked that character into the ground to prop up Supergirl, but whatever. And the number one reason is their main actress is about to become a mom. So, with how they have to shoot those shows and how long they have to stay away from home, and now they have to shoot these shows in the COVID era, that's not really a conducive mix for that scenario. So, it makes sense. They had 6 years, and what I think they're going in their seven. They had a good run. They got legs out of it far more than most shows. Most shows barely get out of their first season before getting canceled. So,
Thacky boy, thoughts on the cancellation of Supergirl?
Well, first, I didn't know Melissa Benoist was becoming a mother, so congratulations to her. But I made it through 3 seasons, and I thought that was a bit much. It was not a good show. There were so few things to actually like about it. Honestly, the best episode that I saw of that show was the flashback episode for when they were in high school or middle school or whatever the fuck it was. I was like, if this was the show, I would be all about it. But it's not.
Yeah, I didn't even see that episode. Sorry, won't do it. Can't make me. It's the big stupid. So, I'm of the mindset that it might just be time to cancel the entire universe. Fucking pivot to something new. I mean, we've already established, canonically speaking, that every show is canon, so, like, you can go do your own show and, hey, maybe this one won't suck. That's the hope. That's the hope. Oh, and by the by, we're getting a boys spinoff series. Yeah, it's going to be My Hero Academia. No, I'm not kidding. The series is going to take place in a superhero college. Yeah, so that's the thing.
Right. I mean, for real? Now I wonder, wait a minute, they're going to turn the series on Homelander's kid years in the future?
I don't know if that's going to be the idea, but I just saw something on Yahoo when I was checking my mail about the boys getting a spin-off series set in a superhero college. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's a thing. We'll see if it actually gets made, because you never know. Like, just because a show is in development doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does happen, and we just wish it didn't. All right, so we'll be back at the end of Boys Season 2, by the way, to recap Season 2 for our next episode of the ComicCorp podcast. For Marcus Green and Zach Duncan, I'm Chad Porto. You can find us on the website at realnerdcorp.com, RealNerdcorp.com. We're also on Twitter at NERDCORP, on Instagram at Real Nerd Corp. We're also on our personals. Marcus can be found on his at ParadoxKid, PARADOXKID.
Don't tread on me.
You can also find him on his other podcast, The True Penny Show, TruePennyShow, on Twitter. Go check them out. They cover New Japan and other forms of wrestling, I would imagine. Zachy Boy is over on DeviantArt and Instagram at the same handle at Radiance2020, RADIANCE2020.
There it is.
And I'm over on Twitter at Chad Nerdcorp, ChadNerdcorp, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut, ChadsphotoHut. Go follow us there, like us there, all the cool things there. For the three of us, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and go to the website once again at realnerdcorp.com. With all that being said, we're done for the night. We'll let you know when the next episode is coming out. And until then, be sure to follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/Comic and Gamecore and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Comic and Gamecore. Marcus, take us home.
Good night, B.